Giles is the quintessential Utah story. He sees the growth of a very fledgling department and took that by virtue of his own excitement and passion to the point where he is able to see what is really the modern music school.
When I think of Thomas Giles, I think of a high standard and, never being satisfied with less.
He wasn't just a musician, and he wasn't just a father. He was somebody for everybody.
University of Utah Symphony was performing at Kingsbury Hall. And my mother took me there, and I broke away from her in the audience, and I went up on the stage. My grandfather was conducting the symphony. He stopped, picked me up in his arms, and continued with the symphony conducting it. And I was tapping my toe at the time, and then at the end of the symphony, he put me down, and he bowed, and he had the orchestra bow, and he had me bow.
He was the grandson of a remarkable man. The grandfather was known as the blind harpist of Utah.
He would perform his harp in different settlements around Utah. And to me, that's a great gift, because at the end of a hard day's work, and as hard as the pioneers used to work, to have music, that was a wonderful thing.
Henry Giles was the founder of the BYU Academy Music Department, and as a consequence, young Thomas grew up in this wonderful musical environment. And then at some point along the way, the idea of going back to Europe and studying must have entered his mind, and so 1904, he finds a way to get himself to Europe, and he spent the next 7 years just drinking it all in.
He was very excited to come back and have everybody know what he had learned. And that was his main goal in life.
Uncle Tom had more music education than anybody west of the Mississippi. And that was a statement that was made on more than one occasion.
He joined the faculty in 1913.
When Dad came up here, they gave him 2 rooms in the Park building. And one he could teach piano in, and the other he could study in.
He and one other person constituted the faculty when he first came here. But in those early years, it was up to him. He did everything. He did the vocal music, he did the choral music, he did the piano teaching, he did the opera workshop.
He thought everybody in the world should enjoy music like he did.
The record that he said was that during the course of his years here, taught 1,462 individual students in piano. Just incredible.
He was there quite a while until they built this building, and he was thrilled to death to get some place of his own.
Well, the biggest thing on the campus was the varsity glee club, and he took that and changed it from a small group of young men, and he turned that into a really big group of people. He started touring with his men's glee club.
That went to Southern California to perform, went around the country to perform. And they said every place they went, they got standing ovations after they performed because of the way he did things.
Dad thought big, even from the time he was very young. He always thought big for everything.
His next venture was a production of Aida. They did it on the plaza in front of the Park building.
We sat down on the grass, and on where the cement is and everything, that's where they performed. The orchestra was right in front, just like you would if you had a stage.
It was done, staged magnificently. I wish they could have videotaped it.
And the whole thing just turned out perfectly because he had visualized how that could be, just like over in Italy.
Everybody is astounded once again that out there in the wilds of the West, that something as wonderful as that production of Aida could have taken place.
He never thought that Utah was small. He said they can handle anything that any other state can handle, and they did.
So what is the legacy of Thomas Giles? Well, I think there are 2 things that we can learn from him. One is that students should be adventurous and take responsibility for their own education. Second thing is that today, it's no longer necessary to go to Europe. or even to the East Coast for that matter. Everything that you need for a professional education can be obtained right here at the University of Utah. In so many ways, he prepared all of us for this modern School of Music and the wonderful opportunities that it presents.